Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Rao. There's so much to talk about today. Of course, we'll talk about the Ashes, about the ODI squad, but let's start with the Ashes here. Test number 4, done and dusted within 2 days. And, throughout this series, there have been a lot of reactions that have been elicited from around the world. But the reaction that I have had throughout this series is, what the hell am I witnessing? What is going on? 4 Ashes test matches, and none of them have gone down to even day 4. So, this is something we will talk about. Shomik, let's start with you. Ashes test number 4, once again, 10 millimeters of grass on that MCG wicket, 20 wickets on the first day. Is this a farce?
It is absolutely a first. I mean, a test match ending inside 140 overs, not even 140 overs have been bowled over 4 innings, right? A test match ending inside in less than 6 sessions. I mean, we are into the sixth session when England won. So it is absolutely a first. I mean, when in India there are rank turners, people call out the curators saying that it is not in accordance with the spirit of Test cricket. That spirit of Test cricket line, the spirit of cricket line um, uh, is being churned out repeatedly. But what about this? Bang average county bowlers like Josh Tongue and others, they are getting wickets, a back full of wickets. I mean, Australia actually have shot themselves in the foot because Australia were winning, they were cruising in that series. England had the Noosa Gate, and by preparing a pitch that reduced the margin between the two teams. When you prepare a lottery pitch, what happens? A good team and a bad team, the margin gets reduced. And from that point of view, they played it to England's hands. And what happened now? They have lost a series, and suddenly England have an opportunity to salvage the Ashes. If they go on and win the at SCG, it is 3-2. It doesn't look like that bad. 5-0 or 3-2, there is a difference. So Australia voluntarily sort of by shooting themselves in the foot have given baseball a lifeline.
Can I add something?
Of course.
See, Mr. Josh Tong has 43 wickets at a strike rate of 40. That's the best strike rate for an England pace bowler since Sydney Barnes. So if this bowler is an average county bowler, then I don't know who is a good bowler. Is definitely a good bowler. 43 wickets in 8 tests, that's 5 wickets per test. So I will leave aside that. Coming back to the pitch, it was definitely a pitch that had too much of grass. 10 millimeter of grass is a lot of grass. So you don't expect in those conditions you can't really blame the batters because you can't trust your defense. It becomes a lottery pitch. In those conditions, how can you really blame the batters? Because it's 10 millimeters of grass. So and there's a lot of variable bounce as well. So it is definitely a poor pitch, and it should get penalized. It should definitely get penalized because we think too much about spin-friendly tracks. When they turn, the people blame the spin-friendly tracks, and the people don't really blame these seam-friendly tracks. But having said that, someone who's taking 43 wickets in 8 tests at a strike rate of 40, if he's an average county bowler, then I don't know who is a good bowler.
Gargi, my one point before I hand it over to you, wickets means nothing if you look at the quality of the bowlers, and he is as mediocre as it gets. And now it's over to you, Gargi.
Strike rate of 40 is also mediocre. Who is a good bowler then? Strike rate of 40 is mediocre. He should be striking at 25 or what?
Everyone is entitled to their opinion. You think he's not. Shomik thinks, Josh Tongue is a mediocre bowler, but everyone is entitled to their opinions. You can't really. That's very subjective. But Webov, coming back to the Ashes again, I just did a little bit of math, and I know I'm not someone to be trusted with math skills, but around 150, around 150 overs bowled. What is going on? What are we witnessing? Just a few months ago, we watched India take on England in England, every match going down to the last session. I think there were only 2 matches that did not go down to the last session. but every match going down to day 5, and we thought, this is the peak of Test cricket. This is why we love watching Test cricket. But now it's just, this is a complete farce. What do you think?
See, it also tells you something about the batting lineups, that how poor both the teams have batted throughout the series. Not just Perth. In Perth also we saw the same thing. Game finishing inside the 2 days, and now at MCG. In Perth we saw 32 wickets falling inside 2 days. Now we are seeing 36 wickets falling. So interestingly, in the build-up of this test match, the MCG pitch curator Matt Page said that I want to prepare the same pitch which I prepared for the India-Australia test last summer. But I don't think he left too much of grass in the pitch, just because if you look at the last BGT, the patch was, the pitch was praised by many, just because both teams batted really well. Australia scored of over 400 runs. Steve Smith scored 100. Then India also batted well, scored over 300 runs. So I think that pitch was far, far, far better. But again, now if you are looking at this pitch, 36 wickets, but I would say the batting was far poor or miserable, to say the least. In comparison to bowling, yes, pitch was difficult to bat on. But again, today also Steve Smith, showed that this is a pitch where you can bat. For Gus Atkinson, if he's touching down to double digits, then there is something. It's not about wild slogging and everything. You can still score runs if you have that patience and determination, what all the skills a batter requires to perform at test level. But again, unfortunately, both the teams, Australia having aged batters, England sticking to their reckless approach, the baseball approach. So these things won't help. These things will only help the bowlers of the opposition team. So I think batting has been a big letdown from both the teams throughout the series, not just the Perth test or the MCG test. Even if you look at Adelaide, the pitch was better, but not a lot of players could score big runs. So again, it comes down to the batting. You can criticize pitch as much as you want. Yes, there was a lot of assistance for the bowlers, too much for the liking of the bowlers. It was not a balanced pitch. But let me remind everyone that ICC gave Perth pitch a very good rating, the top rating. So I don't think too much scrutiny will go down to MCG pitch as well. Or one point that I can point out is Cricket Australia will have a financial hit. They had a financial hit in the Perth test as well. They lost 3 days there as well, and now they have lost 3 days here as well. In the first day, you have the biggest turnout ever for an MCG test, and now in the second day you have a wrap up. So I think it's a big financial loss for Cricket Australia as well. But again, not something that as a test viewer, as a spectator, you would like to see any test matches going wrapping up inside 2 days.
Rohit, on a lighter note, the Noosa trip worked.
I think yes, very much. It worked. I think because it's not only about, and by the way, it's they have planned it in two different parts also. It's not only about, they planned it between Melbourne and Brisbane. Melbourne and Adelaide. It's also when they were after Perth in in Queenstown, in that Brisbane area. That's where basically they have planned that. So I think yes, it worked, but coming to that Josh Tongue part, there were two extremes, as far as Josh Tongue is concerned. When Bharat is saying, absolutely, the numbers back his observation that if you talk about his performance this particular year, he have these fifers against Ireland, also India, also now his performance in Australia also. But then my question arises that if England team have so much belief in Josh Tongue, why isn't he part of the Perth test and the Brisbane test? Because
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's
yes,
a mistake.
that's what I'm saying. But,
That's not a mistake.
that
Very
why
mistake.
why they, yes, got it at once. But my point is that what we are talking, that you have belief in Josh Tongue, but Team England doesn't have belief in Josh Tongue.
So what should
There
I
is
do?
certain,
I'm just telling you the numbers. 43 wickets in
yeah,
8
yeah, yeah.
days. It's
But
5
but,
wickets
but
per
then
test. 5 wickets.
but
5
then
wickets per test. Strike rate of 40. That strike rate is the best strike rate by an England pace bowler since Sydney
but the,
Barnes, and Sydney
I am not
Barnes
saying
played
that
in 1920.
I am not saying that the data behind data
That's
what
all
you
I
are
told.
providing is not
That's
telling
all I
that he has
told.
good performance.
It's not
My
my
point
mistake
is,
that Australia
yeah,
didn't,
yeah, I'm not saying that
didn't
it
field
is
him.
your mistake.
England didn't
I'm
field
not
him.
saying that it is your mistake. My point only here is that sometimes after good data also, if your team doesn't believe in you, then what you have to do for that? My point is that sometimes a discussion on a particular player goes far beyond numbers also. That's my only point. There is multiple players in Indian team also at this point of time where data will tell you, wow, this player is, wonderful as far
What
as
exactly should have done?
stats are.
Wait. What
One
exactly should
second.
have been?
Let Rohit finish his point, and then you can
No.
counter
My
it or
point
whatever.
is that I absolutely agree with what Bharat is saying. That data completely tells you that what kind of a bowler he is. I'm not denying that fact. Bharat is absolutely right. My only observation here is sometimes with a player, it's more than the data by which a team allows a player come into the playing 11 sometimes, and that's where Bharat is saying that it's a mistake from England side. I'm also saying that's a mistake from England side, but the point here is when you see certain players, you go beyond numbers or not. That's my exact point is that sometimes a assessment needs far beyond numbers, because numbers is telling you that he has more than 30 wickets in this particular year. He has done well against India. He has done well against in this series also. He's bowling really good as far as short length is concerned and wide outside off stump. My only point is, if if that's the case, why England didn't pick him? Bharat said it's their mistake. From my point of view, I think this is my observation. Sometimes a player need a eyesight, a vision beyond numbers. That's my only point is.
I'll just add a point. I don't want this to become Joe Strong topic. See, when England needed him at Trent Bridge, he took 4 wickets for 3 runs or whatever it is. That test match, India lost, and England went on to win. One of the reasons was Joe Strong. Then Australia, when they finally picked him on a flat Adelaide pitch, they were 311 for 4, Australia. When England picked him on that flat Adelaide pitch, Australia were 311 for 4. It was his spell right at the end that opened the gates, at least opened a small window for England in Adelaide, where Australia were bowled out for 349. And in this test match also, he got Stu Smith out. He's got Stu Smith 3 times now. It's got him 3 times now in Test cricket, and plus 1 time in county cricket. And he got Labuschagne out twice. He has those awkward angles. His fastest ball is 151 kilometers per hour. He gets extra bounce. So, and then you compare with the evidence that I have put up 43 wickets in 8 tests. I don't know what else should a bowler to do to be known as a good bowler.
The point here is the fan loses out. One of the biggest talking points here is that the fan loses out. We've seen a total of 12 days of test cricket throughout this Ashes series. This is a series that Englishmen and also Australian fans wait for a long time for it to come around and actually go to the stadium, watch, spend a lot of money. People fly to other cities, and there's a lot of logistics involved for fans as well, and they lose out, is my only point here. But moving on to our next topic of discussion, which is India's ODI squad. The New Zealand series is right around the corner. Shomik, I'll start with you. Shreyas Iyer back at the center of excellence. He, I think, has resumed batting. At this point, do you think Shreyas Iyer can make it back to the team?
Gargi, it's touch and go. I mean, he had one batting session in Bombay before going to COE. And over the next few days, his fitness will be assessed. We have to consider that he suffered a very serious injury, in the sense internal bleeding and everything. And thankfully, with timely intervention, the problem was addressed. So, and when it happened, we broke the story he would be out for 2 months. Now he has resumed batting. Now we have to see, and also the selectors, even if he is past fit by the COE medical experts, we have to take into consideration that he has no game time behind him before coming to the international fold. So in that event, will he be able to play a couple of games towards the back end of the Vijay Hazare Trophy? That is also one question we need to address, because Shreyas Iyer will have to play the Vijay Hazare Trophy first before making himself available for international cricket. Now, as far as my sources are concerned, the selectors are going to pick the ODI squad either on January 3 or January 4. So this is as far as my sources are concerned. So between now, today is December 27, and January 3 and January 4 is just about 1 week away. So will Shreyas Iyer be in a position to play at least one Vijay Hazare Trophy game for Bombay? That is a big question. So all this, it's a touch and go. fingers crossed. Maybe he might not be able to make himself available for this three-match ODI series against New Zealand. If he does it, all good. But I mean, I have a big question mark over this. But the sooner he comes back to the fold, he is the ODI vice captain. The sooner he comes back to the fold, the better. Rituraj Gaikwad did very well in his absence, scored his maiden ODI 100 in Raipur. But Shreyas Iyer is Shreyas Iyer. The Indian team needs him, and Indian team needs his leadership skills as well. Because Shubman Gill is a new captain. Shubman Gill is a new captain in this format, and your vice captain is your best sounding board. So from that point of view, the sooner he comes back, but still it is pretty touch and go, Gargi.
India will definitely miss Shreyas Iyer's leadership skill. Also, his skills against spin is something that I think, India keep missing out on when we talk about the batting department. But Weber, another name that I want to bring up here, Rishabh Pant will want to make a case for himself, and we will have wanted to throughout the Vijay Hazare Trophy. At this point, we know KL Rahul is the designated keeper, was the captain in absence of Shubman Gill in the past series as well. But do you think there is any chance of Rishabh Pant making it to the squad? Do you think there's no place whatsoever in the playing 11 for the management to accommodate Rishabh Pant?
See, as far as the playing 11 is concerned, I don't think there is a place in the playing 11. Yes, you can debate around the squad that in the makeup of the squad, if you'll select for the New Zealand series, then there will be a toss-up there will be discussions around Ishan Kishan and Rishabh Pant, because in the last series you saw Rishabh Pant was there as a backup wicketkeeper. I think now Dhruv Jurel will go out of the scheme of things for now, because this team management what also believes is in the left-right combination a lot. So if they have a right-handed KL Rahul as a wicketkeeper option, they would want someone like a left-handed Ishan Kishan or Rishabh Pant. So I think for this particular New Zealand series, there will be a toss-up between Rishabh and Ishan. Ishan has done remarkable job since coming to the domestic circuit and scoring runs. In his first Ranji game against Tamil Nadu, he scored 100. Then SMAT happened where he emerged as the highest run scorer. Now he scored 100 in the first game of the Vijay Hazare Trophy. So I think he has made a strong case for himself. And I was discussing it with Rohit Bhai a few days back that it was his spot to lose. The last time when Rishabh Pant was not around in the scene, it was Ishan Kishan. He was your second wicketkeeper backup wicketkeeper batter in the 2023 World Cup as well. So he has always been in your white ball plans. In 2023, he was your all-format wicketkeeper batter when Rishabh Pant was not there. First choice wicketkeeper batter. So I think Ishan Kishan is the front runner, I would say, for the New Zealand series. Rishabh Pant, although he scored a 70 odd yesterday, but I still think that Rishabh still has a point to prove as far as the white ball cricket is concerned. He still doesn't have the numbers to prove himself or to make a case for himself in the playing 11. So, or even in the squad. So I think Ishan Kishan would be the front runner for me going into the New Zealand series. I think Rishabh Pant will still have to score some runs in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. Much like, I keep talking about Arshdeep Singh and Varun Chakravarti, how they performed in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, and then they got selected in the England series and the Champions Trophy. So I think same sort of thing Rishabh Pant also has to do if he has to earn his place in the 15-member ODI squad.
All right, Bharat, Ishan Kishan, there's someone here in the comment section who says that isn't it too early to bring Ishan in? What are your thoughts about Ishan Kishan?
If this is too early, then when should he be brought back into the lineup, just or in the into the squad? Because he scored. I'm just asking a question. If he scored a lot of runs inside Mustaq Ali Trophy,
today is in mood.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking. Just a little bit perplexed as to when should he be back into the squad then, because Ishan Kishan has got a lot of runs inside Mustaq Ali Trophy. Saban, I think, is a gun batter in the sense that in T20 cricket, or for the matter, limit overs cricket, when he gets going, he can break games. So I think it's the right decision to get him back into the T20 setup for the World Cup. I just hope it goes well for him this time around, because he's someone, I think, who has a lot of shots, wide range of shots, I've noted even in 5 years ago when he was facing Andrik Norkia, he was able to land a few good pull shots as well. That tells you he's more than just a slogger. I think this is the right time. They got him back. And if they don't get him back now, when will they get him back? Maybe after 35 or whatever it is, then he would be retired. So I think that's the right decision.
Rohit, what are your thoughts if there was a, let's say, a catch in the air between Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan? What would be your pick?
So I think there's a three-way competition in this particular thing. Let me put this very clear that Ishan Kishan, coming of Ishan Kishan into the T20 World Cup squad, has not much to do with what he did in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. That's what I am getting from the sources. That it's not the way he performed in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. It's basically there's a requirement in the top order as far as a replacement is concerned, and that's why someone like Ishan Kishan came into the side. It's not like that 1 week before the selection there is no discussion. Again, I'm saying, as per my sources, 1 week before the World Cup squad selection, there was no discussion that we will get in Ishan Kishan as far as T20I World Cup is concerned. Even 1 week is too far. I'm saying 3 days, 4 days, 72 hours to the selection meeting. There's no discussion of Ishan Kishan that we will take him into the World Cup squad. It happened in the last couple of days when the the meeting done, Lucknow visit of chairman selector with the idea of that what they want with Ishan Kishan. So if anyone is thinking that that's only because of Ishan Kishan opened the door with the performance in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, at least I know that that's not the whole case. The case was simple, that they want a like-to-like replacement for Sanju Samson, and that's why they picked Ishan Kishan. Now my second point is why I'm saying that it's a three-way competition, because I want to include a Sanju Samson into it. Sanju, when he was part of the ODI squad, again the last performance he did was a century, and after that he didn't got chance as far as ODI setup is concerned. Now Rishabh Pant is there from last two series. There is a Champions Trophy in between, and after that there is a 50-over series in between versus South Africa. Didn't get a single opportunity. The last ODI he played was versus Sri Lanka, the last Sri Lanka game on 7th of August 2024. Before that also, when he was part of the squad, if you see his last 5 performances, there is 100 he scored in Manchester. And then you have a Ishan Kishan's case, who was the part of 50-over squad as far as the second wicketkeeper option after KL Rahul till 2023, that South Africa series where he said that I want to take a break now because I want to go home. Before that also, Kishan have a consistent run. If you see his last 5 to 7 matches, there are a couple of half centuries, good half centuries. There's a not out innings. So it's not only about what I'm saying. It's not only about Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan. It's also about having a Sanju Samson option there. Sanju isn't right now not available for the Vijay Hazares. I think he will play Vijay Hazares in the coming week. But the way Ishan switched his batting position from number 1 to number 6, there is a clear indication that what he is and where he is actually trying to target. Number 5 for Rishabh Pant in the batting order, and I'll definitely want to take Dhruv Jurel's name also, but Dhruv Jurel at this point of time playing in number 3 position. So his case is a little not up to the mark as far as ODI squad selection. Otherwise, he was the one who went in that Australia tour as far as ODI team is concerned. So I think for me, it's not Ishan Kishan's direct replacement for Rishabh Pant as far as number 2 wicketkeeper position is concerned in ODI. And that's why I put that theory in front of you, that in T20 World Cup squad also, it's not like that he was forced to do this selection change, that domestically he played really well, so selectors were very keen. No, it's not like the case. It's just they want a like-to-like replacement for Sanju Samson. That's why they picked Ishan Kishan, not for what he did in SMAT. Yes, performance is basically the reason, but not the main reason.
Quite interesting. A lot of yes, Shomik, your comment, and then we'll close the show.
Gargi, as regards Ishan Kishan, Rohit is right. I mean, it was sort of an 11th hour call. He was on the radar, Rohit, but the decision that he would be part of the T20I squad was, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, was taken in Pune, the day of the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy final when all the selectors assembled, and they took the call and they took it took it forward, and from there they went to Ahmedabad and they had a discussion with the team management. And once they decided that they will drop Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill is going out as an opener, so Ishan Kishan is coming as a replacement opener. He is the backup opener. Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma, this is the first choice opening pair for the T20I World Cup. Now, as regards Ishan Kishan in ODI cricket, I have already written a story saying that he is knocking on the ODI door. It's not a case of a contest between Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan. If you look at India's squad against South Africa, they had three wicket keepers. KL Rahul was the first choice, and Rishabh Pant was there as the backup, and Dhruv Jurel was also part of the 15. So, as far as my understanding is concerned, Rishabh Pant very likely is going to replace Dhruv Jurel. There is a possibility. Rishabh Pant is very. There would be some changes. Shubman Gill is coming back. Shubman Gill is coming back to take charge of the ODI squad, and he would replace either Tilak Verma or this guy Washington Sundar. So that is one replacement. Hardik Pandya is coming back, and he, in all likelihood, he would replace Nitish Kumar Reddy. And then Ishan Kishan for Dhruv Jurel in that squad is a clear possibility at this moment in time. So these are the three changes we are looking forward to. Let's see if Shreyas eventually is past fit, then that would be bad news for Rituraj Gaikwad.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing. And Rituraj Gaikwad, as we all know, has done nothing wrong to be left out. But combination is such that it will force a few good players out. So quite a few names up in the air. Let's see what the Indian management comes up with, what the squad is for the New Zealand series. But till then, stay tuned to Rev Sports. We'll be bringing you all the updates at 5 p.m. We'll go live again with Boria, who will take all your questions and interact with you guys. Thank you so much, Shomik, Vaibhav, Rohit, and Bharat. We'll be back very soon. Stay tuned.